This is Tonya Mendez with TangleArt Studios. Today we're going to talk about the draw behind technique and how to draw Hollibaugh. So let's get started. I have my tools all set up, so we need a piece of paper. This is a Zentangle tile. You can see that it has the Zentangle insignia on the back. This is Fabriano art paper. It's 100% cotton, mold made. We also will be needing a Micron 01 pen or an 05 pen. This is the Pigma pen that comes in the apprentice kit. It has a harder tip on it if you're the type of person who tends to push a little bit harder. We also need a number 2 pencil and a paper stub. So the Zentangle Method has 8 steps, and the first step is to practice gratitude. So we take some time to be thankful for the tile and the materials that we have, for the tools that we work with, and maybe just think of a couple things in your day that you can be thankful for. The next step is dots. So we start with dots in the corners of the tile. And we rotate our tile to keep our hand in a comfortable position. So you can see I just move it around there, kind of in a little circle, and I just put light dots in the corners of the tile. The next step are the lines. So we connect the dots with light pencil lines. Maybe that's a little bit too light there. Now you can see it. So we're just connecting the dots. The lines don't necessarily need to be straight. They can be straight. They can be very much not straight. It's really up to you as the artist, however you prefer to manage it. So there we're set up. That's how we set up a tile. The next step, the third step of the Zentangle method, is our string. So for this one I'm going to start with a Z for Zentangle. So I just make a Z kind of on a diagonal across my tile, and then I put my pencil down and I pick up my pen. Today I'm going to be working with a Pigma 05 pen. This is the apprentice pen, and I'm going to do that because it has a wider tip and it'll show up better on the video. So you can choose to work with the 01 pen or whichever pen is your favorite. So to start Hollibaugh, we start with a parallel line that runs across one of the sections. And it doesn't matter, just pick a section and start with a line that goes from one edge to the other. So you can see I start here at this pencil line and I end here at this pencil line. Then I'm going to drop down just below that, and again starting at the pencil line, I'm going to draw a parallel line right underneath my original one. Then I'm going to rotate the tile. Doesn't matter how far you rotate the tile or which direction you choose to draw next, but I'm going to start at the next line here and just go across again, ending at the pencil line. So what you saw me do, if you noticed, is I came up to this ink line, I stopped, I jumped over, and I continued on. So this technique is called draw behind. I'm going to rotate my tile again, and I'm going to go in another direction. So I start at the pencil line, I go across, and if I encounter one of the ink lines, I stop, jump over, and continue on. And do that again here. Stop, jump over, and continue on. And I just keep rotating the tile and adding in more lines. So I start at the pencil line, stop, jump over, continue on. Start at the line, stop, jump over, continue on. And what this does, it creates this weave effect where you have dimensions. So like this appears to be more towards the front, and then this one is right behind it. But then these two go underneath, so it's almost like 3 sticks high. This pattern, according to Zentangle, when I was there for the certification, they said this pattern was developed by a carpenter. So it actually looks kind of like a pile of lumber that's been just dropped and scattered. Or maybe pickup sticks. So you just keep rotating and turning and filling in different areas with lines. And it gets more complicated. You can see here I drew behind here, now I'm going to draw behind here, and I'm going to run into that one. And then I'm going to do it again here, draw behind. So it continues to get more complicated as the spaces fill in. And there's no rule that says how many boards you have to have or anything like that. Just fill it in until you're happy with the way it looks, and then let it go. So I'm now going to stop there, and I'm going to show you some techniques for shading. So you can see the depth. We already talked about how it looks like this board is on top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to emphasize that with a little graphite. So right here, where this board actually goes behind, I'm going to put some graphite right there along the edge. You can see I'm holding my pencil to the side so the tip doesn't dig into the paper. So I actually hold it to the side and just let the side of the lead kind of glide across the paper. Then I'm going to take my tortillon, and I do the same here. I hold it to the side slightly, and I just kind of work that graphite right along there into a bit of a gradient, so it creates that shadow effect. And this adds depth and dimension to the artwork. So you can see that emphasizes the fact that this board appears to be going behind this board. And we can continue to do that for all the rest of the boards out here. We'll just add a little graphite anytime they intersect where we've drawn behind. So I just add that graphite in, and then I kind of pull it out gently, creating that little shading effect. I just rotate it around. Creating that sense of depth and dimension. So now you can see how those boards all stack on top of each other. So the pattern is actually step 4 of the Zentangle method, and this shading is step... Oh, I've got them messed up. Anyway, it's the dots, the line, gratitude, dots, line, string, pattern, shading, and then the next one is to make your mark. So it's important to always finish your artwork, which I'm not going to have time to finish this piece in this video, but it's important to always finish your artwork. And when it's finished, take credit for what you've done, because it's exciting and it's yours. So come up with a little mark that represents you. So my name is Tonya J Mendez, so I'm going to do, that's too light, let me get the darker one. I'm going to do a T and a J that kind of curve around with a little dot. So it looks almost like a little face. And that's going to be my mark for today. And then the last step of the Zentangle method is to practice appreciation. And that means that as you finish a piece, hold it out away from you, turn it in different directions, look at it in every light, and pick out all of the things that you like best about it. Maybe say, I like the size of these boards, or I really like the way that shading is laid in there. But pick out several things that you like about your artwork, and that retrains your brain to look for the positive instead of the negative. So I encourage you to do this in everything you do. Thanks for joining me this morning. Talk to you again soon.